Karina here. I'm showing you a full face tutorial, this look right here, using the Naked2 Basics Palette, and I'm combining it up with good old Naked2. Now before we get into the tutorial, if you want to skip ahead, you can go to that number right there. I'll just give you a quick review of how I feel about the Naked Basics 2 palette. If you've been subscribed for a while, then you probably remember my review on the first Naked Basics palette. This palette sucks. Yep. Doesn't get more honest than that. Well, I don't have a much better opinion of this palette, unfortunately. And I really didn't have high expectations. I'll just be brutally honest with you. When I first got this palette, I knew it was just going to be a stinky one. Right off the bat, I can just tell you that I knew I wouldn't like it because it has a bunch of cooler shades in it. And I know just based on having Naked 1, Naked 2, Naked 3, that Naked 2 is probably my least favorite of the three because it does have those cooler shades. So did not have high hopes that I would like this one, and I really don't. And it also has that Urban Decay problem. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. If you have been using Urban Decay eyeshadows for a while, you know exactly which one I'm talking about. You know how they look in the pan? Yeah, they don't look like that when you put them on your eyes. And not only do the colors not translate onto your lids how they look in the pan, but they look really muddy by the time you get them on your eyes. They all just look like the same color after a while. Ugh. I do not understand why Urban Decay eyeshadows do that, so I really don't like using this palette on its own. Definitely don't. If you love using it on its own, that's wonderful! I'm so happy that it works for you. But I really recommend, if you find that that happens to you when you're using this palette, to combine it up with some other Naked palettes that you have, which is why I'm using it with Naked 2 today, so that we get a little bit better of a look out of it. So, let me show you how to recreate the entire face.
To start this tutorial, we're going to prime our naked eyelid, and the first eyeshadow I'm using from the Naked2 Basics palette is the one called Frisk. I'm applying this lightly into the crease with the Sedona Lace EB15 crease brush, and you can see this is supposed to be a light purple, but it does not come off as a light purple when you apply it. For our blending shade, I'm using Foxy from the Naked2 palette, and I'm using the Sigma E25 blending brush to blend out the harsher edges of Frisk. Next up is the shade called Tease, also from Naked2, and I'm using the Makeup Geek crease brush to define the crease with this eyeshadow. This adds definition to the look and helps to bring the eyes forward. And now that I have that deposited, I'm going to go back with the same fluffy crease brush we used before and blend in between the crease color and the definition color to ensure an even blend. Next eyeshadow we're using is the one called Verve, and I'm applying this onto the lid with the MAC 239. And if you find that you have a lot of fallout with this shade, you can also apply it wet. Going back to that little basics palette, now we're going to take the shade called Undone, and I'm applying this onto the outer third of the lid. I'm going to blend it back into Verve, and I'm also going to carry this color into the outer V to add some depth in the look. I'm also going to take the shade called Blackout from the Naked2 palette, and again, I'm using the Sedona Lace brush here to work this into the outer V. And if you slip outside of the outer V, not a problem. Take a shade that matches your skin tone and go along the outer edges to help clean it up. To complete the look, I'm taking the eyeshadow called Cover from the Basics palette and the Makeup Geek pencil brush. I'm smudging this along the lower lash line. This step is completely optional. If you wanted to leave it bare there, you definitely can. And to complete the eyes, I'm going to take my Illamasqua Precision Gel Liner. I'm going to make a little wing on the outer edge and line the eyes with the gel liner. And once again, if you've never seen my winged eyeliner tutorial, I will have it linked for you down below since I didn't stay in frame long enough for you to see how I really do it here. Filling in the brows, I'm using my Mercier Brow Defining Gel in Fair and a brush from Sonia Kashuk. I'm applying a little bit of mascara, and then of course the falsies. These are Coy Cutie from inkyminky.com, and I don't know why I can stay in frame for false eyelash application, but not for my gel eyeliner. You know, some days I'm on, some days I'm not. And those are your completed eyes, and you can see how beautifully all these colors come together. But once again, you can see the effect that I was talking about. It's hard to differentiate which color is which. For my under eye concealer, I'm using one from Benefit. This is called Fake Up. It's in the shade called Light, and I'm applying it with the Sigma concealer brush. Don't know the number off the top of my head, but it's that little bitty concealer brush that they sell. And for my foundation, I'm using the Bobbi Brown foundation stick, and I swear I have more fun with this thing. It is more fun to apply than any other foundation that I have. I'm buffing it into the skin with the angled stippling brush from Makeup Geek. And I love the finish of this, so I am not going to be applying a powder over the top of it. I'm just going to leave it as is. For my blush, I'm using MAC's Breath of Plum. I have been madly in love with this color here lately. #obsessed. I am loving it for fall. It's perfect. It's that plummy pink color, and it goes beautifully when you have eyes like this. And for my lips, of course, we have to go vamp for fall, so I'm choosing to go with a Wet n Wild shade here. I believe this is called something wine. I don't remember off the top of my head what it's called. I will have it listed for you down below in the description box. But it's a beautiful deep wine color. And to help sharpen the edges of this lipstick, you can go back with a little bit of your concealer and outline the edges.
Okay, so I admit it, even though I don't like the Naked Basics 2 palette, I really do like this look that I created with it. I love it. And it actually, funny story, I can't even begin to tell you how many combinations I washed off today in preparation for this video tutorial. So this tutorial probably took me minimum of 3 hours to film just because I had to keep going back and washing off looks that I really didn't like. So this is how long it took me to get to this look, and totally worth it. Hope that you found it helpful today. And if you did manage to pick up this palette, let me know your thoughts on it as well. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Are you looking for new ways to wear your eyeshadows? Discover the only website online with pictures of combinations using the brands featured here and so many more. Head on over to myeyeshadowconsultant.com and get inspired today.